Hello everybody, it's that college football guy. It's Bill here with another video. Part 1 of the Big 12 prediction videos. We're going to start with Arizona, Arizona State, Baylor, and BYU. A little bit to get into all these, like this is a lot of turnover and stuff that happened in all these, so shall we get into this right off the jump? Alright, let's talk about Arizona first off. Last year they were 10-3 in the Pac-12 last year. Vegas has their win total at 8.5. I think that's a little bit high, but we'll see what happens here. Brent Brennan's now the new head coach. He came over from San Jose State. How well can his new system working in? As he has Dino Babers, the former Syracuse head coach, as his OC. Well, that's just going to be a work in progress. We'll see how that goes. But they do have Noah Fafita, who is going to give opposing defensive coordinators headaches all season long. He's going to be a problem, but like I said, new system, new vocabulary, new verbiage. Let's see how this goes. Running back and wide receiver rooms are pretty solid. Offensive line returns 4 of its 5 starters, and they got some good depth out of the transfer portal. Defensively is basically a rebuild. Linebacker room, defensive line, secondary. A lot of players left, a lot of newcomers in. How well can everybody mesh together? That's going to be the key to all this. So let's start off with the schedule. Starting off at home, week 1 against New Mexico. First game against New Mexico. You're going to win that home and easy. Second game is at home against Northern Arizona. You played them last year. And FCS played them last year again. Played them again last year. You beat them by 35 at home. You're going to beat them again. Then there's a situation here where 4 Big 12 schools are going to be playing non-cons against other Big 12 schools. And Arizona and Kansas State and Baylor and Utah are playing non-conference games against each other, even though they're conference opponents. It's weird because the games weren't canceled, so they're going to be non-con. So Kansas State is now on Arizona's schedule as a non-conference game. They travel to them on the road. For the Arizona, you're traveling to Kansas State. This is your first kind of a cross-country road trip, and I think that's going to be enough for you. And Kansas State's got a lot of talent, so I'm thinking Arizona, unfortunately for you, is you're still going to be gelling together, trying to figure out what this team is. You're losing to Arizona State. You're losing to Kansas State. All right, then you get a bye. Come out of the bye, you're on the road at Utah. You beat them by 24 last year, but they had... I'm going to get in the Utah video. I'm going to get to that. It's going to be in part 4. Amount of talent they had out was bad, and now everybody's back. And you're going on the road to play Utah. You're going to lose to Utah. Then you're home against Texas Tech. First time meeting these guys in conference play. This was kind of a pick 'em for me, because I was like, okay, which way is this going to go? How's this going to handle? I'm going like, okay, who's at home? Arizona's at home. It's coin flip, so I'm picking Arizona to beat Texas Tech. Then you're on the road at BYU. BYU, you've played 2 games already. Utah and Texas Tech, 2 tough games. BYU has a bye the week before. I think that's going to hurt you, and you're going to lose an upset loss to BYU. Then you're home against Colorado. They played Kansas State the previous week, and this is about the time to see. We're talking about 7-8 games in the schedule. This is where those offensive line problems from last year kicked in. I think they're going to kick in again, and you're going to beat Colorado. Then you're at home again against West Virginia, and this is where cross-country travel is going to help Arizona, because West Virginia's got to travel to Arizona, and you're going to beat West Virginia. But then you go on the road at UCF. Now, the same travel that helped you now is going to hurt you. And I think the lag in playing Central Florida, I think you losing to Central Florida. Then you get a bye. You come out of the bye and you play Houston. Houston is not going to make a lot of people happy this year. Foreshadowing. But you're at home. They're coming into town. I'm going to have you beat Houston. And you're on the road at TCU. This is a place where it's a coin flip game again, because it's like who's at home, who's at road. You're on the road. I'm picking you to lose this game. TCU's at home. They're going to win this. And then you're finished off the season at home against Arizona State. You beat them by 36 on the road last year. Yeah, you're going to beat them again this year. So you finished 7-5, 5-4 in conference. Next up is Arizona State, who was 3-9 last year. Vegas has their win total of 4.5 right now. Head coach Kenny Dillingham is trying to make an improvement on this team, see what he can make about it, and he's got a work in progress, but so far so good. Where's my just love my dryer decides to go off right in the middle of the video. How fast Michigan State quarterback Sam Levin? How fast can he pick up this offense? Because that's going to be a big key for this. The running back and wide receiver rooms are okay, pretty solid. The offensive line, say they need to improve is an understatement. I mean, some people said they couldn't stop a sneeze last year. There's a lot of transfers coming in. They're going to have to make an impact immediately, or this is going to be a problem. Defensive line room has to get to the quarterback, as last year they did. Those sack numbers have to come up. Linebacker room. Realistically, this could be the strength of the defense because they have a potential to be very, very good. And the defensive backs, man, just transfers galore. Just not that many players carry over there. And how well can everybody mesh together? That's going to be a big, big key to this. All right. How do you start your season, Arizona State? Well, you start off at home against Wyoming. Wyoming could possibly, some people say Wyoming's up for a special upset. No, I don't think so. I think Arizona State's going to be Wyoming. Then you're at home against Mississippi State. This is cross-country travel for Mississippi State. New head coach, just Jeff Lebby's going to be there. They're traveling on the road ASU. I think they're going to be overlooking you, and I have you upsetting Mississippi State at home. Then you're on the road at Texas State. You're going to beat Texas State. That's not going to be an issue. You're going to beat them on that one, so you're 3-0. Then you're on the road at Texas Tech. Here's where you come back to earth. Texas Tech on there, Arizona State traveling to Texas. This is where it's going to start hurting you, and you're losing to Texas Tech. Then you get the bye, and then you come out of the bye at home against Kansas, who just has way more talent than you do. You're losing to Kansas at home. Next game, you're at home against Utah, and you're losing that one too. Again, too much talent. In fact, you played them last year, and you lost by 52 on the road last year. And that's without Cam Rising. You think you're going to beat him again this year? No. Then you're on the road at Cincinnati. This is a game where it's cross-country travel. You're trying from Arizona to Ohio. And this is a game where I think it's going to hurt you. Cross-country, you're going to lose that game. Then you have another bye. You're coming out of the bye on the road at Oklahoma State. Man, they're at home and all the firepower. Yeah, you're going to lose that game too. But then you're at home against UCF. So Central Florida, travel this time helps you. Central Florida is going to come cross-country. So I have you beating Central Florida. Then you're on the road at Kansas State. Kansas State just has more talent than you do. It's just that simple. And you're on the road. You're losing to Kansas State. You're home against BYU. This game is both schools are kind of in the same area. So I was going like, okay, how are we going to judge this? Who's at home? ASU's at home. So I'm going to give them the win, ASU over Boise. Then you're on the road at Arizona. I just talked about this game. You got blown out last year, and you're going to get blown out again and get a loss. So you're going to be 5-7, 2-7 in conference. Next up is Baylor, who was 3-9 last year. Vegas has their win total of 5.5. Dave Aranda, I'm not going to go over his record for simply this. Is he coaching for his job? I think he is. I think he's coaching for his job. We're going to see how this goes. They have a new quarterback in, DeQuan Finn, who I loved watching from Toledo. He is a playmaker with his feet and with his arm. He is going to be fun to watch at Baylor. Running back room needs to improve. You need to work on those rushing yards. That's got to be improved here. Get second level. Wide receiver room is improved, mainly from the transfer portal. They should be a lot better. The offensive line has to improve a lot because they... 4 of the 5 stars are back, but everybody was young and inexperienced last year. Now they have a year under their belt, including the depth in the roster. That's going to be key to this, so I think they're going to be in a solid position here. So what's next with Baylor? How are they going to start? Actually, I'm doing the offense. Defensive line. There's a lot of ads on the defensive line in the portal. Hopefully everybody's going to improve and gel together. Linebacker room could be the anchor of this defense, realistically. There's a lot of playmakers. And defensively, defensive backs are mostly intact. Last year, the defensive line couldn't get that many sacks, so there was kind of exposure for the secondary. If they can put pressure on, defensive line can put pressure on the secondary, there's a chance that the secondary can make some plays. So how are we looking at it for Baylor's season? Well, they start off the season at home against Tarleton State. That's a win. Then they're on the road at Utah in a non-con game. Yeah, this is where cross country travel is going to hurt Baylor. You're going to lose that game. You're home against Air Force. You're going to win that one because of the talent advantage. And you're on the road at Colorado. This is another one, traveling hurting. It's not that far, but I think traveling hurting, you're going to hurt you. And you're close in talent to Colorado. So Baylor, you're going to lose that game to Colorado. Home against BYU. This is where it helps you travel on there. BYU coming over to Texas. You win that game. Then you're on the road at Iowa State. You lost by 12 at home last year to Iowa State, and I think you're going to lose again on the road. Then you have a bye after 6 straight games. You come out of the bye at home against Texas Tech. Both schools have a bye coming into this game. So basically it becomes, okay, coin flip. Who's winning this? Well, who's at home? Texas Tech's at home. So I'm going Texas Tech to win. Then you're home against Oklahoma State. This isn't about this or coin flips. Oklahoma State's just far more talented than you are. Even though you're at home, you're losing that game. And then you get home against TCU. TCU, you lost by 25 on the road last year, but this is the game that's going to shock some people. I have you beating TCU at home. Then you have your second bye of the season. You're out on the road at West Virginia. West Virginia, you lost by 3 on the road last year. At home last year by 3 at home. Now you're on the road. I think West Virginia beats you. On the road at Houston. Houston, you lost by 1 in overtime at home last year. You're looking for revenge, and I have you beating Houston on the road. So that's a big, big win for you. And then you're at home against Kansas to finish the year. Unfortunately, they're just more talented than you are. So I have you losing to Kansas to finish 5-7, 3-6 in conference. And now we go to BYU. BYU 5-7 last season. Vegas says their win total of 5.5. Kalani Sitake 61-41, 8 seasons at BYU. Is he possibly coaching for his job? He had one bad season. Just dial it back, will you? Baylor transfer quarterback Jerry Bohannon is their new starter. He's a lot better passer than Keaton Slovis, but can he mesh into the program here? Running back room has to improve. Bohannon's a mobile quarterback, so that's going to help, but it's still got the yardage. It's got to get cranked up. The touchdown's going to get cranked up. Wide receiver room also needs to improve. Offensive line is solid, but man, the biggest weakness they had there is just the run blocking. That has to get better. That has to get better. Defensively, actually offensive line, we're talking here. They have a chance to be pretty damn big and pretty good. How well they pressure the quarterback is going to be the key to this. How well they pressure the QB, because I don't know if, with the influx of players from the portals, do they have enough pressure to get to the quarterback, because that's going to be key to this. Linebacker room is good, but the question is, can they stay healthy? They had some key injuries last year. And also the defensive line had some health. One defensive line had health, but they had a win. Secondary, I was thinking I had the health issues. They have a lot of health issues and some newcomers. How well are they going to get to this? All right. So let's get into this. We're talking BYU straight schedule. Starting the season at home against Southern Illinois, you're going to get the win easily. Then you're on the road at SMU. If you watch the ACC prediction videos, you know the fact I have you losing on the road at SMU. Then you're on the road at Wyoming. I'm having you actually, because Wyoming is kind of a little bit off kilter here. A little bit off kilter. I'm picking you to beat Wyoming on the road. Then you're on the road at Kansas State. This is going to be a key game for you, because Kansas State's on the road. They played 4 games too. They're having the same tough schedule as you're having. You're doing all this stuff together. You're doing all these things here, and I just have you at home. I think you're beating Kansas State for one of your biggest wins in recent memory. So that puts you at 3-1. Then you're on the road at Baylor. This is when travel hurts you. You have to go on the road at Baylor, and Baylor is actually going to beat you, because I just did that a little bit ago. Now you have the bye. You're home against Arizona. I just did this video. You're going to win that one. Then you're home again against Oklahoma State. You lost by 6 on the road in overtime last year. You're looking for revenge in this game, and you're not getting it. Oklahoma State's going to beat you. Then you're on the road at UCF, cross-country travel. This is where the fact it hurts you, because now it's UCF at home, and you're coming in to travel from Utah. So UCF is going to win that game. They get a bye. Then they're on the road at Utah. Just, yeah, you're not. The Holy War is back, but this is going to be bad. So I'm picking you to lose to Utah. Then you're at home against Kansas. You lost by 11 on the road last year. I don't see this getting any better, and even though you're at home. I'm picking you to lose to Kansas. And you're on the road at Arizona State. I just literally did this, so you're losing to Arizona State. You finished the season at home against Houston. Kind of an even matchup between you two former American rivals. I have you beating Houston to finish the season 6-6, 4-5 in conference. So what does it mean here? We're doing a quick recap. We're talking Arizona 7-5, 5-4 in conference. We're talking Arizona State 5-7, 2-7 in conference. We're talking Baylor 5-7, 3-6 in conference. And BYU 6-6, 4-5 in conference. But I made my first prediction video for the Big 12. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments. So thanks everybody for watching the video. If you haven't done it already, do me the favor, smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps the algorithm, helps the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. What predictions I get right, what predictions I get wrong. Let me know in the video where I did wrong. I want to hear this from all of you. Share the video if you want to, and if you haven't done it already, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and check out some of the other videos I've done. I know there's scheduled prediction videos, but I do more than just that. That's just for the start of the season. Check out the other videos I've done. If you like them, hey, subscribe to the channel. You know, on the way to 700, slowly but surely in that crawl of 1,000 subscribers, we can make some things happen. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. Hope everybody's enjoying their Monday as I look at all this paperwork for all the work I got to do. So again, thanks everybody for watching. Hope everybody's having a great day. Be safe out there, and please be good to each other.